Yo, well, welcome to another episode of In the Life with MightyFan, and got my work attire on because I'm leaving the office. I'm heading to the Clubhouse store in Philly. If I can get out of here, make sure I don't hit someone. All right. Because that is the only place that I have seen the batting practice National League Phillies jerseys available. Even Fanatics doesn't have them. I don't really understand why, because they seem to have every other player from every other team available but the Phillies, which is kind of strange, but it is what it is. They have the customized options, but they don't have the actual ones with the player name and, already done up, and the customized options are more pricey. So, not to say I wouldn't pay for a product. I've been known to do that over time, but if I can just get a little bit cheaper, plus I get a bit of a discount there because of the ticket package I have with the Phillies. So I know they got Wheeler and Schwarber, who are the two representatives from the Phillies this year. And, people don't seem to like the batting practice jerseys this year. I kind of do. So I haven't gotten a batting practice jersey in a few years, or the All-Star jersey, because what they did now this year, and I like the fact they did it, they went back to the teams wearing their regular jersey for the All-Star game, and then they have the batting practice jersey. Because the All-Star jerseys, like, over the last few years, they basically have been batting practice jerseys. Like, it's like what the batting practice jersey would have been, So I like the fact that they went back to wearing the regular jersey or team jersey for the game with a patch for the All-Star game on it, and then the batting practice is its own separate jersey. And, so I am attempting to get to the Clubhouse store before they close. They close at 6 p.m. I always wish that they close at 7 instead of 6, because I come in from the burbs, and you gotta deal with traffic, and I don't get out of work till 4:30. I got out a little early today so I can make this trip and try to make this store before they close. And the other problem is, in Philly, like, everyone marvel at the fact that we have all of our sports complexes in one area in South Philly, which is cool. But anytime there's an event going on at any of the other stadiums, you can't park. If I want to go to the Clubhouse store or to for the Phillies, or to the Lynx, to the store for the Eagles, the pro shop, I can't. Because every parking lot's closed, or just open for people parking to go to whatever concert or sports event that they're going to. There's nowhere to go. So it's like I have to look on, like, Ticketmaster to look at the venues to make sure there's nothing going on that night. Because, for any event, people go there early. They go there early because the parking lot's open at, and if it's a weekday, I know there's no way I can get there if there's some event going on. And sure enough, over the weekend, Cirque du Soleil is going to be at whatever they're calling it today, the Exmo, whatever it is, the formerly Wells Fargo Center. And, all right, so I won't be able to park because all the parking lots are going to be open for people going to Cirque du Soleil, and I want to get to the team store. They can have the jugglers. I want to get the merchandise. So this is the only freaking day I can get there where I can actually hopefully park to go to the store and get the merch I'm looking for. But anyhow, enough of me complaining, because it does no good. But again, as a resident living in the Philly area, that's my complaint about the stadiums being in all the same spot. A, the parking situation, getting out of the parking lot sucks after events. And B, if for shopping reasons, if I want to go to the Clubhouse store at Citizens Bank, or the Eagles at the link, I can't get in there if there's an event going on at any one of the sports complexes in Philly, in South Philly. There's just no way to get in. And I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. I want to do some shopping. I can't, because freaking Cirque du Soleil is at the Expo tonight. or there's some country music going on at the link. Or some, whatever. It's like, anyhow, so that's what's going on today. I do want to backtrack a bit. I know the last two vids I did were around the 4th, and it was trying to find those the little rubber ducks from Five Below. And as you saw, I was able to find the puppet, and I was looking for Michael Myers. And as it turns out, I was talking to my boss about it because his wife collects rubber ducks. It's one of the things that she collects. So they already knew about these things. And he was like, "Oh yeah, the Michael Myers one is near me. I'll pick one up for you." So I was able to get the Michael Myers thanks to my boss. So thank you for him. So I did not go back out and venture out into the wild over the 4th of July holiday. I was a slug, so indoors. But it still bothers me, man, about vlogging, because I want to do more of that, but it's just a damn copyright crap with music, and it's unavoidable. I can't go places without music being played overhead. There's no way to avoid it. All these stores do it. It's annoying because then you get the copyright. Now again, I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't make any money for this. This is all free for me, and it's free for you. So even if I get commercials on I don't get any money for it. But it's still one of the things that bugs me, because there's nothing I can do about the music, the music being played over me when I'm showing and giving my instant reactions to things like at Ross. Yeah, but such is life. We deal with it. But anyhow, that's pretty much what happened the rest of that weekend. So obviously I didn't do a video again. But I'm glad people enjoyed those two little slices of life for me. It's fun. Like I say, it's fun for me to do those videos. I'm just a little weary because of the copyright stuff. Because of the freaking music that the stores have to play. And most of the time, it's not even music I care for. So it's like, it's a double do. It's like some music, I have no idea what it is. And then I get the copyright thing on it. But speaking of music, and music I actually do know about, Deftones is releasing a song today. I think they're coming out with a new album over the summer, which I'm looking forward to. And I think their single is coming out today at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I'm excited for that. It's another song I get to put on my Spotify. Yeah, rush hour traffic. See, this is why I left a little early, because I gotta deal with this crap. I thought about either going this way or 95, and I'm like, either way I'm screwed. So I'm gonna hit traffic either way. So I'll go this way through Philly. We'll go down Market Street. We'll go down Broad Street. We'll get to the stadium. And there's no Cirque du Soleil tonight, so hopefully I'll be able to park at the parking lot where I can go to right across from the clubhouse store and get my Kyle Schwarber 2025 National League batting practice jersey. Schwarbomb! And the Phillies actually scored 13 runs yesterday, which was, that's the thing that does kind of, it's like they score 7 runs in one inning, and then they'll go a week without scoring 7 runs at all. It's like, come on, guys, let's get it together a little bit here. They always struggle in San Francisco. It's that stadium open. You just almost chalk it up as an instant series loss. Which conversely, now they're playing in they're going to Petco Park in San Diego, and since that stadium opened, the Phillies have the highest winning percentage of any road team. So we're going from a park where we probably have one of the worst winning percentages to a park that we have one of the best winning percentages. So we'll see. We'll see. other than that, I know I got a note on Instagram, and if you haven't followed me on there yet, let's look up MightyFan. You'll find me. A YouTube content creator, Yankee Fan, wrote me, which, by the way, in 09, if Cole Hamels was Cole Hamels, we would have won that series. That's all I'm saying. Because they couldn't beat Cliff Lee, and they wouldn't have been able to beat. If Cole Hamels pitched the way he did in 08, Yankees wouldn't have beaten the Phillies in the World Series. I'm sorry. I know. You might argue it. I know. Because I know my Phillies, and I know if Cole Hamels was on that year, we wouldn't have lost that World Series to the Yankees. We would have won back-to-back. And then what happened. The Giants and the Cardinals and the damn squirrel. Other fan bases think they have it. No. Philly fans know what it is to be tortured, believe me. But at any rate, I believe his name's Ollie, so shout out to Ollie, the Yankee fan. Which, by the way, if you're a Yankee fan, I'm guessing you're a Giants fan. Thank you for Saquon. I have to say, I'm sorry. I'm an Eagles fan, so Mr. Backwards Hurdle on the cover of Madden as an Eagle. See, 1 year as an Eagle. That's all it took. But anyhow, Ollie apparently had an issue with Fanatics with a Yankee jacket. Wanted me to share, the frustration. I'm sorry that you had a problem with the Yankee jacket that came in the mail. And I know there's a lot of horror stories about Fanatics, and I get it. I'm not, I'm not siding with one or the other. I'm like Switzerland in this, believe me. I mean, because if I would have to do a whole nother series on my channel to talk about people's frustrations with Fanatics. And, I see it. I see it in the groups on Facebook. I've heard from other people. I've heard the horror stories. I see the pictures, and people get the customization done wrongly. The name's upside down in the back. The numbers might be screwed up or whatever. I get that. Fanatics has made a lot of mistakes. But I myself as a consumer, and it's, never say never, I've never had any issues with what I get from Fanatics. And I know it happens. And I know it's the companies under the Fanatics umbrella, like Mitchell and Ness. I remember years ago, Rez had an issue with the Randy Moss Vikings jersey. He got the white Vikings jersey. It had the color just, coming on the sleeves. It was not very good. But, again, this is a problem that companies have with quality control. And it's not just an issue with companies like Fanatics. This is across the board. We see it with Fanatics because that's where we shop, right? It's the same with any other big conglomerate. It's the same with Target. It's the same with Walmart. It's the same with Home Depot. Any places where you're buying stuff online, you're going to have to deal with things like this. And again, I'm not trying to say it makes it right. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But I'm saying that anytime you buy something online, we're all at the risk of something going wrong. Whether it's the item comes in and it's damaged, whether the item gets lost in the mail. And that's just, that's the blessing and the curse of online shopping. And it's not just Fanatics. It's eBay, it's Poshmark, it's Mercari. I bought a Bo Jackson, people know this story. I bought a Bo Jackson Mitchell Ness jersey, authentic jersey on eBay. And the seller got my order confused with someone else's, and he sent me a pair of bad-looking sneakers instead. I got someone else's order. Sneakers. And they weren't my size, and they were terrible looking. They were all roughed up. And I put in for a brand new with tags Bo Jackson Kansas City Royals jersey, which I've since couped from thanks to Big Slim. But I got a refund, right? But I didn't get what I ordered. And I understand that's a different story with Fanatics. Fanatics is selling stuff that might be damaged. If you get customization, I've seen it in the Eagles groups, people getting the Eagles jerseys, the black alternate jersey, and the numbers are done wrong because the silver on the border of the lettering is done wrong or whatever it is, right? I've seen the horror stories and I've heard the horror stories. But again, I don't work for Fanatics. I'm not part of that world. I don't work in retail. I myself have not had an issue with a Fanatics order. The 2 times I've had an issue with Fanatics, the one time, it was years ago, the item that I ordered never came in the mail. I called them, their customer service at the time, it was in Florida, I believe, and the person was great. Right when I was on the phone, they sent me a replacement, and I got it within like 2 days because they expedited it at no extra cost to me. The other issue I had wasn't even so much with Fanatics, it was that courier that they use, that whatever courier system that they're using now, which is kind of a weird system. You do get your items quicker, but it's a weird system because, and I just happened to be upstairs. It was one of my days where I was working from home, and I was up in my living room, and I turned my head, I looked out the window, and the courier was coming up my driveway with the package. And instead of putting it at the front door where packages usually go, he basically just threw it on my front yard by my lamppost. And my front door is just basically feet away. So I don't know why he couldn't just take the extra. It was laziness. And I only know that because I just happened to glance out the window for whatever reason. Maybe I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, and I saw him do it. And I went out and got the package. So obviously, I got what I paid for, but that was a little weird. But those are the only 2 times that I've had an issue with Fanatics. So again, I can't speak from experience of having horrible situations, right? And I know people have, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for you, Ollie, because obviously you got a jacket that you're looking forward to. It comes in the mail and it's damaged. The only thing I can say is just try to get a replacement. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, Fanatics is such a big conglomerate. But believe me, us in this community complaining, it's only about that much of their clientele. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't complain. Absolutely should. And stories like this should be, broadcasted. But again, it is only going to do so much. Fanatics is so huge, and their warehouses are like bigger than football stadiums. Again, it doesn't make it right, but it's a quality control issue. There's just not. Maybe they just don't have enough employees working in that aspect of their working clientele to see everything. Things are going to happen. It's a huge company, and the bigger these companies get, the more items that they acquire, the more acquisitions that they make, the more products that they have, the more chances there's going to be for issues. Now, that also means that they should do a better job at hiring and getting more people that can take care of these kind of things, so that situations like that jacket might have a less chance of happening. But again, you're talking about a huge company, and it's just, sometimes we're just at the mercy of it. And again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm shrugging off your problem or anyone else's problem with Fanatics, but this channel is not about Fanatics. This channel is about the life of collecting. Now, if I have a problem with Fanatics, you're going to see it on this channel, and I will show if something comes in and it's damaged, or if it's a customization thing done wrong, you'll see it. But I can't really go ahead and talk about all these different people's problems with Fanatics, because it's endless, and that's really not what the make of this channel is. And I don't want to sound mean or rude about it, but that's just not what MightyFan's channel is about. Again, I feel bad for you, Ollie. I feel bad for anyone who has trouble because I know what it is to want something and to finally get it and to be all excited for that time it comes in the mail, and then there's that disappointment if it's damaged, or if I get a pair of bad-looking sneakers instead of a Bo Jackson jersey. I know that feeling. So I sympathize with you, and I sympathize with anyone. But again, that's the risk. It's like playing that Russian roulette. That's the risk all of us have to play to get stuff online. If we can't see it with our own eyes, if we don't go like I'm doing right now which is something I really enjoy doing, going to a brick and mortar store so I can see what I'm buying. You know, there's nothing better than it for me. And I get it. We live in an era where it's all about online shopping. I do it, right? I just have items coming from Mitchell & Ness right now from their most recent sale. So I get that. But I love going out and buying stuff in person because I can see what I'm buying. I know what I'm getting. And there's just something about the thrill of the hunt in that, too. But I do sympathize with you, and I sympathize with everyone else who's had trouble with Fanatics. I'm not a Fanatics spokesman, just like I'm not a Mitchell & Ness spokesman, even though at times it seems like I am. But I'm really not. I'm a fan of the product, I'm a fan of the company, but I'm not a spokesman for them. I'm a collector. That's really all I am. I see the other side of it too, and I will say this. I see the other side of Fanatics, and I even made mention of it when I was in the store, right? And that's Rally House. Fanatics is always throwing sales. They're giving you opportunities to buy things at cheaper prices. They do fan cash. You can always, you can accrue that over time. You can get stuff a little cheaper. Rally House never has sales. Rally House has items sitting on their racks that have been sitting on their racks for quite a while because it doesn't go on sale. They used to have sale racks. Some Rally Houses, I don't even see sale racks. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what they do. I mean, there's player jerseys. The player has already left the team and it's still full price. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. Rally House has always been that way. Rally House was the one store in the mall back when I used to go for Black Friday that still had full price items when every other store in the mall was having sales, but Rally House. As far as for sports apparel, for what I look for, Rally House was the one stubborn place that just wouldn't do anything. Wouldn't give you even like a 10% off deal or something like that. The only thing I get from Rally House is for my birthday because I'm signed up for their club or whatever it is. So I get a thing every year for my birthday that I can use in store or online. And that's the only time that I can get any kind of deal in Rally House, unless there is a sale rack in the store. And even that seems to be few and far between anymore. I don't know why. To me, that's not a good business practice. You have to have sales. Fanatics, to me, again, they have sales all the time. And people complain about Mitchell & Ness being under the Fanatics umbrella. But Mitchell & Ness has a lot. Mitchell & Ness has just done a sale back-to-back. They did a 4th of July sale, and they just did something else that's on their clearance items, an extra 30% off. And they put a ton more stuff in the clearance, the sale section. Jerseys, all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, and this would not have happened if they weren't part of the Fanatics umbrella. So I respect that. As a consumer, I want to get deals. I want to get, percentages off. I don't want to pay full price for stuff. And in my collection of over 1,700 jerseys and 2,000 plus hats, I mean, the amount of stuff that I've ever paid full price for is probably a very small percentage of the pie of everything all together. I don't like to pay retail where I don't have to. Fanatics, I really don't feel like I ever really have to pay retail with them, right? Because there's always some sort of deal. Now there's exclusions, even with Mitchell & Ness, even though they're still part of the Fanatics umbrella, right? Jordan is still excluded, Jackie Robinson, Jim Brown, I think Griffey now. There's certain players that are excluded, but then again, you can find those jerseys elsewhere if you just kind of wait. People selling them on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark, and that's usually not at full price. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they'll try to gouge you, but a lot of times it's cheaper. You just have to look. You gotta keep your eyes open. That's the biggest thing I've learned in all the years of collecting. You gotta keep your eyes open. You can find stuff cheaper. There's really no need to pay retail. I get it. There's the FOMO. I wouldn't consider myself a sneakerhead, but I get it. When the new J's come out, everyone goes crazy, right? And maybe at some point you might be able to find them a little cheaper, and maybe you can't. It's the same thing in the jersey head world, right? These jerseys come out, and it's like this, oh my God, kind of thing. If it's a jersey you've been waiting on for a while or what have you, right? But I tell you, you wait just a little bit, you catch a deal somewhere. It might not be on the Mitchell & Ness site, maybe Fanatics, maybe some other site that sells the same product. maybe people start selling them on eBay or whatever, and they're selling them a little cheaper. You just kind of have to, you know, I'm not saying always do this. I don't always do it. But you wait just a bit, and you're able to get things at a cheaper price. I wouldn't have the collection I do today if I just paid retail all the time. It just, there's no way. I wouldn't be able to afford it. And I really didn't want to get on my soapbox about that. But, again, I see the other side to an alternate to a Fanatics. And I don't like it. I don't like what Rally House does, or in this case doesn't do. They don't give me an opportunity, you know, and I have bought stuff in there, shirts and hats and what have you, but they're like limiting my opportunity of purchasing in there because they never have deals. They never have sales. The sale rack is, if they have it, it's very limited. And it's like, how do they even survive all this time without doing it? It surprises me, to be honest. Because in this day and age, everyone's looking for the deal, and Rally House is the one place that does not throw deals. And the two things I'm wearing right now, this was on sale Fanatics, this was on sale Fanatics when I got them. Rally House, these are still full price if they're in there. You're not getting a deal. Unless it's like my birthday. Maybe I get a little, you know, 20% or whatever it is that they do. So, again, man, I feel bad for anyone who has problems with Fanatics, when it comes to the customer service, when it comes to, you know, problems with their items, quality control. That's really what it is quality control. That's the problem where it would be anywhere. If it's Fanatics, if it's any of these big corporate conglomerate, that's where it is, because they're not, you know, taking better care of seeing what their product is and where the problems are, where these damaged items, they're still selling them. You know, it's falling through the cracks. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in these days, man. And again, I'm not trying to say that to cover up, but that's the problem with the online purchases. You just never know. You know? But things have, you know, in other realms, even in store. I mean, like I say, I follow toy collectors on YouTube, here on YouTube, and the problem that they have is, you know, because they're looking for, you know, the certain figures. And one of the biggest problems on in Target is that they put these items on the shelves before they should. So they're not in their system just yet, but they have them on the shelves. So what happens is these collectors go and they pick up this item and they can't scan it at the register. So they can't buy it. They can't walk out of the store with it. There's a way you can get around it if you want to be, you know, shady about it. You know, you basically get another item that you know will be scanned. You scan that one twice, and you know that's a no-no, though. The stores don't want you to do it, but that's kind of the way around it. But you know, you're really not supposed to do that. If you get caught doing that, you get in trouble. But so they have to kind of put the item back and wait until they know. I guess it's known for sure that okay, this item's in the system, in Target system. And then they can go back and buy it. So, you know, even in store, there's like these little things. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, hey, if I go to Mitchell & Ness, if there's a jersey release, and I go there, and I can't get the jersey because it's not in their system yet, no, that would suck. So I bet I empathize with those toy collectors, because I know what that would be like for me. Oh, there would be a problem there. Or like a hat or something like that. I'm really looking forward to getting it. It's on the shelf and I can't buy it because it's not in their system. It won't come up at the register. Ooh, that would be a problem. But I did want to address that because it was asked to me if I could kind of spread the news and spread the word about that, I should say. And I guess I did as best I could. else here? I mentioned about Deftones putting out a new single tonight, and I think that album, if they're already put out the single, I would imagine the album's pretty close to being put out. I can't wait for that. As we all know, that's my favorite group, so I look forward to hearing new music by them. Always a good thing. What else has been going on here in the life of MightyFan or elsewhere? Yeah, the All-Star Game's coming up. What's it, next week in Atlanta? Next year it's here. It's in Philly. I don't know if, I know I have this ticket package with the Phillies, so I would imagine what they'll do, they might do like a lottery system like they did during the World Series when we were in it in 22. And, give season ticket holders or ticket holders in general a chance to get tickets to the All-Star Game. I wouldn't mind going, to be honest. It would be really cool. I think baseball is still one of those All-Star Games that's still pretty cool. Like the NBA and NHL has kind of gotten really watered down over the last few years. But MLB, I think, still puts on a pretty good All-Star Game. So I wouldn't mind going to it. And obviously, since it's in my own backyard, it's Scissors Bank Park, it would be cool to see it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of merch next year to go after with the All-Star Game here. But, we'll see. I'll put in for it. If it's a lottery deal, I'll put in for it. See if I can get a ticket to the game. Never seen an All-Star Game live, so, of any sport, so this would be a cool opportunity. I did get an opportunity as a ticket holder to, you're on the Schuylkill when. I did get an opportunity. I got an email from the Phillies, so there's 2 games. You can pick one of 2 games to see batting practice. And the one of the games I think is September 11th, so I might put in for it's free. You can just go right in. You just have to, I think there's something they send you if you put in for it. There's something they send you via email that you can get scanned like a barcode, and you have to scan it. But they're only opening it for ticket holders, so that's a cool little thing. And they've never done that before, so this is like a first. So I'm probably going to try to do that on September 11th because I have a ticket to that game. And they chose like 2 games that part of your package. So I'm going next Friday, weather permitting, with my buddy Mark M. And we're going to go see the game in there. It's JT Realmuto bobblehead night. It's JT wearing the bobblehead is him wearing the City Connect jersey. So not a huge, I'm not a bobblehead collector. I have some, but it's just a chance to get one in a uniform I don't already own. Of course, my favorite one still is the powder blue. So I have a few of those bobbleheads, and I have, I think I have a Harper wearing the cream jersey, basically the day game jersey, and I have I think I have like a Jimmy Rollins figure of him wearing the regular, the red pinstripe jersey. So again, just a chance, and it's free for all fans. Like if you're the first however many thousand in, usually I get it in time to get the bobbler. So go for that next Friday. First time actually getting to the ballpark in a while because I had games that were rained out, and games I couldn't make. So I ended up selling the ticket because I was away or what have you. So it'd be good to get back to seeing a game. There's Philly over there. You can't see it because it's off camera, but there it is to my left. Going past 30th Street Station. This is where had different movies filmed in there. If you know the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, that was part of it was filmed in here. There was other movies that they had shots of in here. It's a pretty nice looking building on the inside and outside. And then the building over there to the right of me right now is the Amtrak building. And if you're familiar with Rocky, you know the movie Rocky Balboa. This is the building where they shot inside where his son worked. It's in there. Those scenes were shot in that building. Philly is a very photographic city. And it does surprise me that more movies and such aren't filmed in Philly, to be honest. There's a lot of really nice shot areas, you know, that could be filmed here. It's a very pretty city. And I know I live here, so I'm biased, but it's a very, like I said, it's a very photogenic city. A lot of areas, and a lot of times when they film movies, that they don't even say it's Philly, but they look for areas that have some, like, you know, different kind of scenic look, like an old kind of look or whatever. They'll film things in Philly, and then they'll say it's some other city or whatever it's supposed to be in the movie. I think one of the biggest movie gaffes I've ever seen was there was a movie with there was a movie with Ice-T, and I forget the name of the movie, but the concept was they signed him up. They tricked him. They signed him up, and that they were going to hunt him. And it was him, like, getting the better of them in, like, the woods and such. And the movie was supposed to be the location was just outside Seattle, Washington. So it's like Washington State. And that towards the end of the movie, they show a city on screen, and it's Philly. Like, you know it's Philly. And it said Seattle, Washington. I'm like, that's not Seattle, it's Philly. The Space Needle isn't in Philly. There's no Space Needle in the picture. What are you doing? And you can see Liberty, you can see the buildings. You can see Liberty 1, Liberty 2, it's Philly. And it was Seattle, Washington. Like, you know, I like the Sonics. I wish they would come back, but we're not Seattle. I forget the name of the movie. It was like The Game or something, and it was all right. I mean, it was an okay movie, but the thing that I always remember from it was towards the end, and they show Philly on screen, and it said Seattle, Washington. I'm like, no, it's not Seattle. It's one of those things. How did you even get past editing? How did they even, like, they just asleep? Like, yeah, we'll just take it. It's all right. We'll use a picture of Philly. It's all right. We'll just say it's Seattle. I mean, you can find other images of Seattle. Even like the person who picked that picture and thought it was Seattle. Like, how do you even think that's Seattle? It's like, what do you... Oh, my God. How horrible were you at school? Obviously, geography was not this person's best subject. Oh, my, oh, my. Anyhow, we are still trying to get to the ballpark here so I can get to the clubhouse store. I'm glad your horn works. I don't think it's really going to do anything, though. There's nowhere to go. You know, good to know the person's horn works. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is when you gotta know how to get around in a city to drive like this. See, I'm a very experienced person. Don't do this at home. Don't try this at home, boys and girls. You have to really know how to do city driving. Don't be afraid to cut people off if you have to. There's no rules here. This is just, anyhow, we're having fun. This is an adventure. Oh my. We're talking about sites of Philly that in the movie they said was Seattle, and we're weaving and bobbing in the roads. We have to put some Barry Sanders moves on just to get through. All this for a Schwarber National League All-Star batting practice jersey too. Keep that in mind. That's what Jersey heads will do. Risk life and limb to get a jersey. Maybe I'm on WIP right now. I don't know. On the YouTube page. This is the camera angle they have here over the bridge. That's why I waved, just in case. You never know. Shout out to WIP. Anywho, jersey-wise, I guess, the summer's kind of a dead time for jerseys. I mean, the All-Star jersey kind of no, but like new stuff, usually not too much hits. That's usually until like maybe we get into a little mid to late August, and you start seeing some new stuff start popping up for the fall. But I know Mitchell & Ness is, I know they're making the first Tom Brady Patriot jersey. They made his Expos jersey for some reason. I didn't quite understand that one, but so it's the Patriots. So they showed it at the Fanatic. It was like available, I guess, at the Fanatics Fan Fest or whatever that was. Speaking of Fanatics, right? New York. Some weeks ago. So they did like the regular 2001 away Brady. I mean, I get it. 2001's when he really first made his name, but I'm thinking if you're going to do an 01 Brady, why not just do the Super Bowl? Well, just put that one out, but the away white 01 Brady. But they will. This is like them slow rolling, right? They're going to make every single Tom Brady jersey known to man. If they made his Expos jersey, they will make every single Tom Brady, like they've made just about every single Michael Jordan. They're going to do all the LeBrons. Some of them I actually want, so yeah, I'll be okay with that. But Steph Curry, I still want the, and I know I'm my own fault for this, because I could just hit up True today and be like, yo, I want that Warriors, that throwback San Francisco Curry from his rookie year, the Hardwood Classics. But the only issue with that is he won't be able to do the Hardwood Classic NBA jump, the logo man for that. But, I don't know. I don't know if I can wait for Mitchell & Ness. I've waited long enough. But I'm sure at some point Mitchell & Ness will roll that Steph Curry out at some point. And they'll put out the shorts for it. And yeah, they'll have my money on the shorts, that's for sure. I get the jersey. I don't get the shorts for everything, but there's certain shorts that, the swingmans with the pockets, there's certain styles that I definitely want to have, and that one is one I want to have. There's others that I've wanted that I haven't gotten, like the Wizards, just for the MJ jerseys I have, but just didn't happen. Maybe someday. I saw they did put out the Gilbert Arenas, the home and away Wizards swings, but they put them out. I'm kind of interested, in hibachi, I wouldn't mind having those. I always kind of like the Wizards jerseys, from that era, so it's probably because of Jordan, but I kind of dug those. I know they brought the white one back as like a Hardwood Classics. I can't believe it's Hardwood Classics, all right, but some years ago. Oh, we're having fun. Oh, people are pulling in, and it's just you can't see it. Believe me, it's me. I'm doing everything I can to not hit something. This is rush hour in the city. We're having fun. For Schwarber, remember, Schwarbs. All right, but So they did put those out. They said they're doing that Brady. I think they're doing a Dawkins Eagles midnight green with the Eagles 75th anniversary on there. Yeah, I have an authentic B West away in that one. I might be in on the Dawkins. We'll see. I got a few Dawkins jerseys already, but you can never go wrong with Weapon X, you know, and it has the patch, so it has some flair, you know. Doesn't take much for me, right? It's like, ooh, with a patch, ooh. I've been known to do that. I've been known to grab jerseys just because it has a patch on there. Yeah, I know. I'm a sucker for it. I'm one of them. It's extra on there. It's, ooh, with this nice patch on there? Oh, yeah. I may already have 10 of the same jersey, but this one has a patch. Ooh. So I know those are coming. I don't know what else though, because they really haven't gone into anything else. I know some, and I think I already mentioned this before, but I know some other power plays will be coming out for hockey. I know they're making the Burger King Gretzky, because I saw in one of their pictures from FanFest someone was wearing one, and I knew it was a power play because you could see the, you know, the jock tag, and they haven't already made it, so I knew that was a new one. But I already have a custom in that, and I got the Rob Blake that they made years ago, so I'm all right with that one. But I couldn't tell. I don't think it was a power play. Someone was wearing a Blackhawk 92 jersey with the NHL 75th, and it was a throwback Blackhawk jersey. But the number on the sleeve looked like it was number 44. And I looked up the roster, and it was like some American-born player who scored like 6 or 7 goals that season. I'm like, I don't know if they're really deep diving, which they've done. But I would imagine if they're making a 1992 throwback Blackhawk jersey with the NHL 75th, it would be Chelios, it would be Jeremy Roenick, it would be Dominic. Oh, I would be in on a Dominic Hasek if they made that one. It would be like one of them. I don't know who this 44 was, so I'm assuming it's just like a custom jersey the guy was wearing. Jersey heads notice these things, you know, and then we do a little research online, and we figure out, yeah, this guy was, who the heck was this? For all I know, it could have been a game-worn jersey the guy was wearing. I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, it could have been, you know, and good on him for doing it. I mean, when you're wearing game-worn stuff, the player doesn't matter. You know, it's like it's a jersey that was worn in the game. You can wear Joe Schmo. I mean, it's a game worn jersey. Like me going after like team issue game worn at the stand for the Phillies. It doesn't matter to me what the player is. Most of the players that are known names are either too expensive or they're too small for me. And I was slim sit-ups. Well, slim. So usually if I get a game-worn or team-issue jersey from that stand at the Phillies, at the ballpark, it's like one of the coaches or some relief pitcher that had a cup of coffee with the Phillies or something, or not a really well-known. But to me, I don't care because it's a team issue or game-worn jersey for the Phillies. You know, so, you know, that it is what, you know, beggars can't be choosers. All right, this was in my size. All right, I don't care if this guy was the bench hitting instructor or something like that. It's still a hot looking jersey, and you know, it's coming straight from the team, so that's cool. I know that a shout out to Bay Area. Bay Area gets a lot of them, and it's a jersey. It doesn't really matter what the player is, and maybe sometimes it's a player that he had a good memory with or had a great moment with the team. But he has a lot of team issue game worn jerseys that, you know, it's just repping his team, and he's happy wearing them, and I think it's cool too. I couldn't just do Phillies though. We all know. It's just too much. I have mad respect for Bay Area and how he just sticks to the Bay Area teams. I have tons of love for the Philly teams. We all know. I'm going right now. I'm battling traffic here to get a Philly jersey. I could not just stick to the Philly team. There's no way. There's too much good stuff out there. And it's just my mentality. You know, my mentality is to, it just doesn't matter. But other people, other collectors, they just stick to their home stuff, and that's cool, or the team that they're a fan of. And that's cool. That's awesome. I marvel at their collections. I do. And even Slim, like, he's told me many a time, if you just stuck to the Phillies, can you imagine your collections? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't. And I don't want to, you know, pound the drum for me, but I have a really nice collection of Philly stuff. It's just, I got stuff in my collection you might not see anywhere else. But I can't stick to it. You know, I stick to it rooting-wise, but I can't do it as a collector. Like I said, there's that split personality. There's the fan and there's the collector. I got rival teams. It's what it is. People have asked me what I think about if I got a rival team. I'm like, well, I do it. I don't really wear them a lot out in Philly. In fact, I just got a rival team to the Flyers. I got 2 jerseys for the rival team coming in the mail. But would I wear it at a Flyers game? No. Would I wear Mets gear, you know, out and about? No, but I have it. I have a good amount of it. Shout out to my buddy Anthony, Mets fan. But I don't like overly promote it, but I have it. I mean, I've always liked their jerseys, so I have a decent amount of their jerseys, particularly from the 80s. But I don't, you know, I don't run around Philly wearing it because, A, I wouldn't do that, and B, yeah, it's just not what I'm going to do. But that's just part of the collector of me. That's not the fan of me, you know? And that's how I look at it. That's how I kind of say, all right, that's what makes it okay for me. I know there's a lot of head shaking going, how could he? That's the collector part of me. That's not the fan part of me. I'm not rooting for the Mets. I even to the point that I don't like Grimace right now. But I do have Met jerseys and hats. I do. But I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna flaunt them around. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna go to the ballpark for Schwarber jersey wearing a Gary Carter Mets 86 jersey. Like, I mean, look, I'm a diehard, and believe me, it pains me to be a Sixers fan. To the point that it's just, every time they draft a player, I'm just counting down the days till he gets hurt. But that's come just guy. You gotta get his finger got hurt. It's painful to be a Sixers. It's a team that just is a franchise that over the years they know how to kick in the gut every year. But I am a fan. I have a whole rack of Sixer jerseys. I got a lot of love for this franchise. And I hate the Celtics. As a Sixer fan, I can't stand that team. I hate the fact that I've never seen the Sixers beat them in a playoff series. Because I was too young for the times when they did. And every time that we always lose to that freaking Shamrock team. Every time. But I have some Celtics jerseys in my collection. I won't flaunt them. I got Larry Bird, I got Pierce, I got a few. You know, I got some Celtics heat in the collection, but it's the collector part of me. It's not the, oh yeah, let's go Boston. No. I've had run-ins with Boston fans, me and them. You know, Adam can tell you. Hey, Adam. Super Bowl 52. But I got Celtics jerseys. I don't, not the current ones. No, I don't know if I can roll with a Tatum or a Brown. I have respect for Brown. I do. Tatum, I got respect for what they did, you know, and how they've, you know, brought a championship there in their story, but I'm not buying their jerseys. That's not going to happen. But I got some of the classic ones, I do. But, yeah, I can't see myself wearing a Jason Tatum. As much pain as that guy has given to me over the recent years, it's been... it's not just Jason's. It's the Sixers, too. They get in their own way. They just... When you have a series lead, you can put them away at home. You put them away at home. You don't go to a Game 7 in Boston. No. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get angry. That's not good when I'm driving. We could have avoided that Game 7, but no. No. They got a Sixer. They got to find a way to Sixer. They always do. They just... I like Etchcom, though, but he's going to get hurt. They all get hurt. They all get hurt. Whoever gets drafted by the Sixers at some point, there's factors of life that is going to happen. There's taxes every year, and whoever the Sixers draft is going to get hurt every year. Every year. One of these years, maybe not, but every year. Every year. They're cursed. They are, but I'm a fan of them. If you're a Thunder fan right now, enjoy it. Just love it. You tanked and you won. We tanked and every year in the second round. But, and anyhow, we're almost at the stadium. Hey, there's good things ahead here. Super Bowls, I got those. We beat the Patriots and the Chiefs. We beat both of them. We got revenge on both of them. See? There's good things here. It's just not for basketball. Even though this is a basketball-laden city, we can't have good basketball here. We can't just... The pro team just has to perennially suck. Or lose in the second round. Or not make the best of when you have players that you should be winning with. But I got two Super Bowls against two great all-time franchises. So, not everyone can say that, but we may have a dynasty here for football. You never know. It could happen. They're on the right track. But anyhow, jersey-wise, I guess, there isn't a lot of news because there really hasn't been a lot out, right? It's just one of those times a year. The summer is a bit of a blah time for jerseys. It is what it is. At any rate, it's almost been an hour here. Hour for getting a jersey. This is what collectors will do. This is what it is. We go through traffic. We bob and weave, but it's not available on Fanatics. Not available. It surprised me. It shouldn't, but it did surprise me. It's for the Phillies themselves. People are like,
incoming call. Press Uconnect phone button to answer.
Who they should go after at the deadline. Me personally, I know. I know he's struggled.
Phone call completed.
Okay. I know he struggled in the minor leagues, but I still wouldn't give up on Painter because how many great pitchers have struggled in the minor leagues, right? So I'm not giving up Andrew Painter just yet. You can still talk about Miller. You can talk about Crawford. If it takes one or both of them to get a difference maker, and that's what I mean, a difference maker. I'm not just trading them for anything, some middle reliever. No. But if you can get like a Kwan from Cleveland, I think he could be a difference maker on this team. He's the perfect leadoff batter for this lineup. You could put Trey number 2 in the order. I think that would really help this team. And if you have to give up an Aiden Miller or Justin Crawford or Justin Crawford to do so, I mean, I would be okay with that. You know, and also the thing about Quan is he still has some years left on his contract. So you're not just getting a rental. I wouldn't give up Aiden Miller or Crawford for a rental. I'm not doing that. No way. But if it's for a player like a Quan of Cleveland who does have some years left in his contract and we would have him here for a few years yet, I'd be okay with that. You know, trading prospects is going to, you know, it's going to, it's either a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing, right? Because how many prospects have the Phillies, top-level prospects, have the Phillies traded over the years that came back to bite them, you know? I mean, we all know about Sandberg. The Cubs, the throw-in player in that deal. But, again, like years ago, you know, Abel was a can't-touch prospect. You can't move him. And he's come up and he's been okay, right? Has his struggles. He really hasn't really completely found himself as a pitcher in the major leagues at this point. But Mick Abel was a top can't move, can't touch prospect. Now he might still find himself. He might find himself on with another franchise, right? And that's just the risk you have to run. If you're in a boat with the Phillies and you're a team that right now, look, you got to go for it. Because the core of this team is an older core, and they might not be around in another year or two. So you got to, unless you're Harper or Turner, you know, Wheeler, you know, Nola, those guys, the rest of this team is going to look very different in a few years. So you got to go for it. And I know Dombrowski hasn't really gone for it so far. It's been the opposite. But you got to go for it now. Because this window is going to close, at least on this team, is going to close within the next year or two. And you got to be aggressive. And I'm hoping that this trade deadline, unlike other deadlines, Dombrowski will finally be aggressive and make some of those moves that, like he made when he was with Boston or Detroit, and just go for it, man. Because you're not going to have this. You're not going to have this opportunity in another year or two. I mean, this team's still going to be good. They're still going to be, you know, because they're still going to have the pitching, and they're still going to have enough players that, you know, they're going to be above, you know, one of the better teams over the next few years. But are they going to be a World Series team, right? This might be one of your last chances. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and if it takes a couple of these guys to get a Quan or get him in a stud closer from another team, that's what you gotta do. You gotta do it this year. But we'll see. That's not for me to decide. But for what is for me to decide is to get over to the clubhouse store that I can see right across the street over there, and I just got to make sure I was okay to park here. I mean, I was able to get in, but there really isn't a lot of people here, and that sometimes worries me. I don't want to come back and my vehicle's towed. So I'm just going to make sure with them before I officially get my merch. All right, so that's going to do it for me for this vehicle vlog. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know we talked about a few things. We bounced around a little bit. That's what I like to do. And hope you all enjoyed it. And what do you always got to do, right? It's free, so you got to do it right. You got to leave those likes. Make sure you leave the likes. Make sure... Oh, there's someone in that car. I just noticed. But you got... We're live. Leave the likes. Make sure to sub if you haven't already done so. Again, trying to get the 2K subs by the end of the year. It's almost... We're going to be touching mid-July soon. And I'm still hoping to get 2,000 subs by the end of the calendar year of 2025. And you can make that happen by hitting that sub button, and also make sure that you hit the bell icon so you're always notified of all the future content from yours truly. I appreciate all the support to the channel. This is still something that's a lot of fun for me to do, so I'm going to continue to do it. And I appreciate all the support to the channel. You know, it's always you know, flattering to me to hear from people that say, oh, you know, I watch your vids, you're always fun and entertaining. You know, I try to keep it as fun and entertaining as I can. it's something that brings me a lot of joy to do, you know, to bring this content to you, the viewer. So I'm going to continue to do it, and the support is always welcome. So thank you all so much for it, and that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go get my merch. So I'm going to go. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a good one. Bye. All right, I got to try and do this without the shaky finger. Okay, got to hit that stop button.